Hello there, my name is Mike. Welcome back to another Soulframe video. In this one we're going to talk about a new activity that was added in Prelude 13, the most recent patch in Soulframe. If you haven't tried Soulframe yet, but would like to, I'm going to put a little snippet at the end of the video that explains how to get an alpha access key. And as always, timestamps will be down in the description, so you can hop around the video to whatever part interests you. But let's talk about Operation the Organ. Operation is a new class of activity that was added in Prelude 13 that we hadn't seen previously. So far, the organ is the only operation, but I would imagine they've got more planned, and we'll just have to wait and see what else they introduce. The introduction to the organ goes as follows.
A sickly-eyed surgeon is watching from the skies above Midrath. Metaskion, a plague doctor of the stars, overseeing the poisonous work. A massive polluter machine built upon a dendrit tower. This tower is pumping ichor into the iron arteries and polluting Alka. The envoy must destroy its beating heart, such that Alka might breathe once more.
So yeah, big polluter machine, we gotta go blow it up. There are 3 organs on the map. Advocat.org differentiates them as the Toslane organ, the Cairnus organ, and the Kernhold organ. Each one has an independent cooldown and will reset after 3 hours. For completing the organ, you'll be rewarded with a fragment for one of the 2 new weapons, or a piece of the new armor set. The first weapon is a new long blade, called the Falx. It's a courage-only attuned weapon that requires 15 courage to empower it. The second new weapon is a new bow called the Avex. This is dual attuned to courage and grace and has a virtue requirement of 16 courage and 14 grace. Having 2 virtue requirements on a single weapon is new to Hotfix number 5 that introduced these weapons. Along with adding the Avex, they changed the Juniper from requiring 15 grace to requiring 9 grace and 7 spirit. The Odiac went from 14 spirit to 8 spirit and 8 courage. The Skilter went from 14 grace to 7 grace and 7 courage. The Basker's Rest went from 17 spirit to 9 spirit and 8 courage. The Witten went from 15 grace to 7 grace and 8 spirit. Along with these weapon changes, they also added a full new set of armor that comes from the organ. This is the first fully spirit attuned set of armor in the game, and it looks like it's going to offer some really good defensive capabilities for casters. It's called the Wazzard Robes, and by far, the hat is the best part of the set. If you're not looking at your screen while listening to this, you gotta look over and check out what this thing looks like. While both weapon fragments can drop from any of the organs, the armor pieces only drop from their specific organ. The Wazzard's Bicocket, the hat, comes from the Toslane organ. The Wazzard's Robes, or the chest piece, comes from the Cairnus organ. And the Wazzard's Trunks, the legs, come from the Kernhold organ. But now that you know why you want to do the organ, let's talk about how to do the organ. Locate the organ that you want to conquer and travel to it on the map. Upon approaching, you'll need to start freeing animals from tar pits scattered around the organ. There are vent grates on the legs that come off the organ that you'll need to open for these animals once you've freed them. Just run up and hit them or shoot them with whatever your ranged weapon is. Once you've freed all the animals and opened up all the vents, Banneret Simpos will spawn up on the stairs to the organ. It's a pretty standard Banneret fight, just kill them and then start going up the stairs. In the room where Simpos spawned, there will be 4 blue glowing canisters. If you destroy these, it'll give you access to a bonus chest once you complete the organ. You can always come back and destroy these after you've completed the activity, so there's no rush on it. You want to go up the stairs surrounding the central mechanism to where there's an elevator lever to pull. This is usually defended by 1 or 2 sinecure, so be ready for a fight once you get up there. Wait for the elevator and then take it to the top of the tower. Here you'll find the conductor being attacked by the ducks you freed earlier. Wait for the ducks to fly away, knock out the conductor, and then take his place. Move your mouse or joystick to move the crosshairs to target the glowing points on the organ. Then to fire it, emulate the key presses shown on the crosshairs. While you're trying to destroy the organ, more sinecure will be attempting to scale the tower to reach you. If you're quick, you've got enough time to destroy all of the glowing points on the organ before they can get to you. If you're a little bit slower, they might reach where you are and attack you, knocking you out of the interface and forcing you to fight them before you can go back in and keep targeting the organ. Once you've finished destroying all the weak points on the organ, your camera will pull back and you'll have completed the activity. You'll see the fragment that you received as a reward pop up on your screen, but there's not an activity completed pop-up like there is for most other activities in the game. Besides the fragment for the weapon or armor, there's also some other juicy rewards scattered around the camp around the organ. You'll see multiple gold sinecure chests, as well as some of the small black ones scattered about. There are also polearm weapon racks around the camp, and these can reward you with iron, steel, and brass, which are very useful crafting resources for making weapons and armor. So I would highly recommend grabbing all of them that you come across. Lastly, there's that chest that you unlocked by destroying the blue canisters inside of the organ. This has a grate covering it before the canisters are destroyed, and it should be open after you've completed the activity. It's located in this little alcove underneath the organ itself. I've farmed quite a few of these organs trying to get the armor and weapons unlocked, so I picked up a couple of tips that I'll share with you to help you succeed right from the get-go. Starting off with, don't forget to open the grate after freeing the animals. It's really frustrating when you've freed all of the animals and you're not sure why the next phase of the organ is starting, and you're wondering if it's bugged out, when you just forgot to open one of the grates as you were running by. Next, depending on your level and what pact you're running, it can be easier to CC the enemies while you're freeing an animal rather than fighting them all off. The activity will continually spawn enemies to attack you, so that little bit of breathing room by CCing them can really help. This next one is a little bit cheesy, but when Banneret Simpos spawns, they spawn behind the door and you can reach them with quite a few different pact abilities that can deal damage, so you can get a pretty good chunk of their health gone before they can even target you. You can also get a stealth attack in by hiding to the left or right of the door before the boss walks out, because they do not spawn automatically targeting you. There's also this strange inconsistent bug that I run into when freeing the animals, where sometimes it will put you into a cutscene where you cannot be damaged by the laser or the enemies that are attacking you, while other times it will just lock you into the animation and you can still take damage. If the cutscene is triggered, you can double tap the spacebar to skip it and free the animals very quickly. Or if you are in a cutscene and currently targeted by a laser, you can let the cutscene play out until after the laser finishes so that you don't take any damage from it. Once you've finished destroying all the weak points on the organ, the game will almost always spawn several enemies up on top of the tower to fight you, so don't be caught off guard when you come out of the room and there are several enemies standing around. Lastly, there are these Odin machines scattered around the organ that have these spinning spike wheels in them. If you walk into them, you get a pretty substantial damage buff to your weapon and your pact abilities before you start the organ activity. After farming a substantial amount of these, I can tell you that the organ is tied with the Kernhold raid as my favorite activity in Soulframe. You can complete them with any pact and any weapons, and there's going to be a portion of it where that pact has an advantage over other pacts. AoE damage pacts will love it because it's always spawning enemies for you to fight. Single target damage pacts will be great because you have to fight a banneret, and crowd control pacts are super strong for freeing all of the animals. I will say though, in its current form, Garen Rude is probably the strongest pact for clearing these organ activities. He has a number 3 ability that causes Stampede that does pretty solid AoE damage to every enemy in front of you, enough to kill most normal enemies. His 1 is a lifesteal that lets you top off your health whenever you've taken some damage, giving you some really solid sustain if you're getting attacked by rangers that might be chipping away your health. And his number 2 ability is a really strong weaken that is extremely effective for taking down the banneret. The activity can also be completed 3 times every 3 hours. With them being scattered around the map, you can just run to the next one and do the activity again. I like this because it gives me something to do for a somewhat extended period of time, rather than logging in, killing a single boss, and then logging off. The activity itself also lasts just the right amount of time for me. It's not a super long, drawn-out fight, but it does give you enough pressure and enough of a fight that you enjoy every second of it, without it turning into a slog through enemies. And lastly, I think it's just a fun activity. They did a really good job with it, it's well designed, and gives you something to do no matter what pact or weapon you're playing. I'm really looking forward to whatever operations they come up with in the future if they share this design philosophy. If you played previously and you're looking for a reason to come back and play some more, I think the organ gives you that reason, and then some. I think you'll have a blast playing it. If you haven't played Soulframe before but would like to give it a try, it's currently in closed alpha access mode. You'll need to get your hands on a key to play, or purchase one of the Founders Packs. To get a key, you can tune in to the dev streams and the Envoy Hour streams that the Soulframe team does once or twice a month. You can also register an account on soulframe.com, and they will give out keys weekly to random accounts. If you know someone who's purchased a Founders Pack, they also got some keys with that pack that they could give you to play. Or you could pay $30 for one of the Founders Wild Packs. You get instant access for yourself as well as 2 friends, and you'll get whatever items come with the pack that you bought. There's also a $100 Founders Pack that comes with all of the other packs included, as well as 10 keys to give to friends to play. I would suggest not shelling out any money to begin with unless you absolutely need to play right now. I love the game, but I'm well aware that it's not for everybody, so if you can get your hands on it for free, I really suggest you try that first, and then give the money later once you fall in love with it. But that's about all I've got for this video. Thank you so much for watching, I really appreciate it. If you've got any feedback for me, you can leave it down below in the comments and I'll take it on board for future videos. I'm posting weekly videos on Soulframe, so if you enjoyed this, you can tune back in next week or subscribe to be notified whenever I post another video. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one.